So guys, Frank Warren, previously, after Amir Khan fought, what's his name, Vargas, he said that Amir Khan should retire. He comes out and says that he feels that Amir Khan should retire. He says Amir Khan's made a lot of money in the sport. He's still got his faculties intact, but carrying on could be very dangerous for him. Now, I also said that as well. I do think Amir Khan can carry on, but it depends on how he selects his opponents. I wouldn't want to see him carry on because I wouldn't want to see Amir Khan operating at a lower level than what he's used to being operating at. But unfortunately, I don't think he's the fighter he was, right? I think he's declined a lot from the Amir Khan we know. And I think Frank Warren's got a point, but the way I am, I wouldn't want to see anybody that I looked at and I enjoyed watching. And now, to me, he seems a shadow of himself. When I saw Amir Khan in his prime, Amir Khan was on it. He was quick. He was fast. Now, if you don't get to see that Amir Khan, it's like you're watching something else. And it's not enjoyable, especially if you're an Amir Khan fan like I am. So, I don't particularly want to see him fight on because I know that against the top elite guys, he's going to struggle now. Because his speed, his movement just isn't there. His legs aren't there like they were when he was younger. That's play for everyone to see. I think everybody kind of already seen that. But if he selects his opponents carefully, he can continue, but he's got to select the opponents that he fights. He's got to fight guys that, he's able to beat. Guys that are where it's more competitive fights for him. And there's no guarantee he wins those fights. But, guys like Broner, Vargas, at that kind of level. Now, if he starts jumping into fights with guys like Crawford and Spence, then he's going to find himself in trouble because he's not the fighter he was. So if he carries on, he's going to have to select his opponents carefully. And otherwise, if he doesn't want to do that and he doesn't want to go down to that level, then he needs to retire because I don't think he's able to compete at the elite level anymore. I don't think he's got it in his legs, or his body's not the same as what it was previously. So, the last thing, like Frank Warren's hit the nail on the head when he says the last thing you want is Amir Khan to get hurt or, to continue and end up hurting himself, because that's what could happen in boxing, because it's a very dangerous sport. It's a very, very dangerous sport, and a lot of these fighters don't know when to call it a day. When you start dipping, and when you're not the same fighter you were, right? It's very dangerous, because Amir Khan especially is always been a speedster, always been a guy that outboxes guys. If you see yourself being outboxed by somebody, it's probably because, yeah, Terence Crawford is good, but I don't think Terence Crawford could have done that in his heyday. And I think if Amir Khan is truthful to himself, and he looks at himself, as himself when he was younger, I'm pretty sure he would know that he was being outboxed there. And would Terence Crawford been able to do that? And even if Terence Crawford did outbox Amir Khan, would he have been able to do that the way he was doing it? It would have been a lot more competitive and a lot more closer, because Amir Khan, like I said, is known for being a master boxer. Irrespective of whether people think that, he's not got the highest boxing IQ, that's irrelevant. He was naturally good at it. And he fought a lot of top fighters and he battle boxed them. But for me, he doesn't have those legs anymore. He doesn't have the movement. I think he's very vulnerable now. He's a lot older. He's a lot slower. Just don't think he's the fighter he was. So Frank Warren's got a point. But I understand Amir Khan's point when he says he doesn't want to go out the way like that. And you can understand that because he's a warrior and he wouldn't want to go out the way he went out against Terence Crawford. I totally understand that. But it may be the right thing for him to do, unless he wants to keep fighting and select his opponents carefully, which is he going to be wanting to do? I don't know. I don't know what he decides, and let's see what happens. I think in the up and coming weeks, we'll find out. I think it will be a decision either way, whether he wants to fight or whether he wants to retire. I do think, obviously, a lot of the interviews and the comments that he made were quite raw because they were just after the fight. I think once he sits down, makes a decision, thinks with a calm head, I think you may get a more reasonable decision. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.